My name is Eva Sunnerstedt. I work for the City of Stockholm with the Clean Vehicles and Fuels program. And today I'm going to talk about electric vehicles, and I hope that my presentation will inspire you and engage you in order to get started with electric vehicles. So, my main message today is that electric vehicles are fun, and if you haven't tried one already, you need to do so. This is a picture of me and my family going on vacation last summer in an electric vehicle. We rented an electric car and went on holiday to the island Gotland on the east coast of Sweden, and believe me, we had loads of fun on this vacation. I also from time to time have the chance to drive electric vehicle for work, but I'm not the only one who thinks that electric vehicles are fun. We do many surveys among electric vehicle drivers in Sweden, and I've seen surveys from other countries as well, that the electric vehicle drivers are very content with their car. They say that the electric vehicles are fun to drive. They accelerate fast, they are silent, and they have, in this way, a totally new and better driving experience than a conventional car. They also say that they like the car because they don't have to go to the filling station anymore. They plug in the car, it takes a few seconds every night, they unplug in the morning, and they don't have to bother about that anymore. And I believe that these reasons that the electric car is more fun and more convenient and more pleasant is why it's actually going to stay and has come here to stay, and that's why we will have more and more people adopting the technology. We know that electric vehicles do pollute less CO2, also less local emissions, and they have also less noise, which is very positive for the driver. However, they do take up space on the streets, and they do congest, just as conventional cars. So they're part of the solution. They're not the one single solution, but they're a very, very big part of the solution to our transportation problems in order to get more environmentally friendly in cities. However, cities still needs to work a lot with walking, biking, and public transport in order to combat climate change and other negative impacts from transportation. And we also need to look at other transportation solutions where we can adopt electric cars in carpooling, car sharing, or other modes of electric transportation, or stay with other modes of transportation like doing biking in a better and smarter way. And all this together will make things happen, but electric vehicles are definitely one part of the solution. The electricity mix in the Nordic countries are very good. We have a lot of hydropower, and we also have more and more now wind power that's coming to us. So we have a very good electricity mix, and we can very easily use electric vehicles a lot. We have the electricity that we need. We also have a very good electric system. We have a net that's functioning very well, and we can transport electricity and we can charge our vehicles really with no major problems. We also have a very good already existing infrastructure for electric vehicles. In the Nordic countries, we very often preheat our conventional petrol cars in the winter with engine block heaters, and we have outlets to do so. And these outlets can very often be used, just as they are, for electric vehicle charging. Sometimes you might need to adopt them or change a few things, but we have electric wiring to a lot of the parking facilities, and we are very well prepared for this electric vehicle transition. So, I'm going to be a little more practical now. So, how to get started with electric vehicles? If you are a vehicle operator and have a large fleet and want to start this introduction, I have a few advice for you. Start with mapping your fleet. How many vehicles do you have? What size are they? How are they used? How often are they used? How many kilometers do they drive per week, per day, per year? And what are their age? When is it time to exchange them anyway? And if you have leasing, when is the end of the leasing period? Which vehicles can you exchange first and when? Analyze the usage and the need, and here try to separate nice from need. What do you actually need, and how many vehicles do you need? Sometimes carpooling can be introduced, where several people uses one car instead of everybody having one car each. In that way, you can save cars and also parking spaces. Secure your energy supply. Where are you going to charge these vehicles? Look where you park your vehicles today. Do you park them indoors or outdoors? Do you have any existing outlets, engine block heating units perhaps, that you can use? Where is it easy to apply charging? Contact your local energy supplier or any other in the field, and you can get good advice on where is the easiest way to supply charging. Educate your drivers. It's not difficult to drive an electric vehicle. Anybody can do that. But the drivers that are the first ones to start driving these vehicles get a lot of attention, and they get a lot of questions. When they stop and park their car, people will approach them. And if you want to spread the message, and if the driver is supposed to be pleased, it's good for them to know, where does the energy come from? How does the batteries work? It's good to have some surrounding information in order to tell the story more appropriate. And market your work. It's very important to tell what you have learned, to have inaugurations, to have big signs on the cars, making them visible so people can see them. And also to tell your stories, both what you've learned, both the success stories and also the failures. Sometimes you learn even more about your failures, even though you don't always want to tell about them. Here are some examples of different marketing activities, inaugurations, big signage on vehicles and so on. And the Zero Rally that we're taking part of today is one big marketing event that is very good, and it's putting the electric vehicle on the map, showing it off to everybody. So I come from a city. We work a lot with renewable fuels and electric vehicles, and cities have a very important role to play when it comes to start the market development. I believe that local authorities are the key players to start the market development. Local authorities are in charge of the environment and health in the city, and they're also in charge of the infrastructure, and they're in charge of incentives and other activities that can promote the green way of transportation. So it's very important that cities act in this field. To start with, cities should lead as an example, to start by and procure these vehicles themselves. The City of Stockholm, the City Council, has decided that all the vehicles that are brought to the city need to be green in some way or the other. And we should buy at least 20 electric vehicles to our city fleet this year. And we already have orders for about 30, so we will be overachieving. But we have electric vehicles also from the past, and we have a lot of experience that we can tell to others. And also when we do buy transportation services, we can demand things like this. It's important for cities to also advise and encourage. The knowledge we have, we should spread to others, and cities are usually considered to be a neutral source of information. We will be able to give you both the pros and the cons, and in that way we will be more neutral in a way than maybe a car salesperson would be. Also, we can incentivize in cities. We can give you free parking, no congestion charging, possibility to buy and drive in bus lanes perhaps. There are many ways that cities can incentivize. You probably have local conditions in your cities that you can think about. The picture on my slide here is from Oslo, from Aker Brygge, where electric vehicles can park for free and charge for free at very centrally located parking places. And I see a lot of electric vehicles on the streets of Trondheim, much more than I see in Stockholm, so I'm sure you have a lot of good incentives here for them. Cities can also be a catalyst for collaboration between different stakeholders. There's usually a hen and egg dilemma. What's going to come first? The incentives, or the cars, or the charging stations, or what? So a city can gather all the stakeholders around the same table and say, let's make this movement happen together in our city. Let's introduce this all at the same time to overcome the different market barriers. So cities are very important in that issues as well. And I already told you about sharing your learnings. It's very important to tell everybody what you have learned and what you can do about it. So, what have we learned in Stockholm then? What do I want to share with you? We believe that European cooperation is very necessary to get a large enough market. When the car industry looks at Europe, they look at Europe, not what's going on in Stockholm or in Trondheim. They want to see the whole picture. So we need to cooperate and exchange, and we need to move forwards together, all of us, if we're going to still have these vehicles on the market and have things happening. We have had a lot of good experience from the Civitas initiative, where we have, it's funded by the European Commission, where we've been able to exchange with other cities what we have learned and learn from them as well. There's no one-size-fits-all solution. Even though you can learn from others, you will understand that there are local adoptions always that needs to be made. So learn from others, but go home and make your own local adoptions afterwards if it's going to be suitable and fit you. It's also important to look at new partnerships and new solutions for partnership, like public-private partnership can be a way to make less public funding, and also a way to find new mobility systems and new business models in order to introduce these technologies that usually in the beginning can be somewhat costly. And here we have a lot to learn, and where we also can share from each other. Test driving is very important. That's almost where I started my presentation. You need to try in electric vehicles actually to understand what it's all about. I can stand here for a long time, try to convince you that electric vehicles are good. But if you go out and drive one, you will realize yourself that they're very fun and they're actually here to stay. So if you want to change people's mind, get your stakeholders, get your decision makers in an electric car and have them test drive. And it's going to be so much more easy to talk to them afterwards when they have a smile on their face and are very convinced that this is a good product. You also need to be patient. Changes takes time. If you have a solution, somebody will give you 1, 2, or 3 problems to that solution. So you need to be patient and keep on going. And you will be making mistakes. So try to make your mistakes as early as possible and learn from them and share them with others. So remember, electric vehicles are fun, and try one. Thank you very much for your attention.